Right. So in this class, we'll talk about vitamins and minerals. We'll start a new chapter in this class, that is vitamins and minerals. So you have, with respect to vitamins, at least you will have the classification, their chemistry, dietary sources, required daily intake, okay, functions, and what happens in the deficiency of these vitamins and minerals. So sources important है, how you are classifying these vitamins and minerals important है, और लोगों के dietary sources, daily intake, required daily intake, and functions, and what happens in the deficiency of these vitamins, minerals. All of these are important topics with respect to vitamins that we'll be discussing. Now, first of all, what are vitamins? Can anyone tell me what is vitamin?
Sir, can you repeat?
What are vitamins? How would you define vitamins, or how would you explain vitamins to a 5-year-old kid?
Vitamins are divided into two types, sir. Fat soluble vitamins, water soluble vitamins.
Okay, that is the classification. I'm asking what is vitamin?
It is an organic compound
Mm,
needed for various metabolic processes in our
mm.
body.
See, generally speaking, you can use this as a rule of thumb. If you are able to explain a particular concept to a 5-year-old kid, it means that you have understood that concept. Okay, more often than not, if you are able to simplify that concept and you are explain it to someone who does not have extensive knowledge about that subject, or let's suppose you are explaining it to a lay person, and if you are able to make them understand, that means that you have understood the topic. Okay, so whenever you yourself are reading, whether it is biochemistry, FON, or whatever that subject might be, someone's this thing is on. Yeah. So whenever you read any particular subject, whether it is first year to fourth year or whatever you are reading, if you are able to explain it to someone else, that will be a good cue that you have understood it. So if you want to understand a subject, I wouldn't say take up teaching as such, but try to teach it to someone. You can even teach it to the wall. No one will actually care. Okay? Just make sure that you are able to tell what you have learned, so that what happens, or teach what you have learned. So आपको पता चल जाता है कहाँ पर आपके knowledge में gap है. ठीक है? Anyway, uh, as she told, essentially vitamins are organic compounds, and these are essential for growth, for normal metabolic processes, for nutritional requirements, for several processes in your body, without whom your body will not be able to function properly. Now, your human body can synthesize some vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, some vitamins in B complex. Vitamin C can also be synthesized to a certain extent, and almost all of your cells in the body have the capacity to store vitamins to a certain extent, and vitamins are only partly destroyed. Okay, they are partly destroyed, they are partly excreted. So they are not completely excreted out of your body, neither are they completely destroyed in your body. Destroyed in the sense they will be converted into a different form rather than complete destruction, I would say. And one important point, vitamins are non-antigenic. नॉन एंटीजेनिक का मतलब यह है, इट विल नॉट कॉज अ रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम योर इम्यून सिस्टम. एंटीजेन is any molecule that can cause a response from your immune system. Okay, so vitamins are non-antigenic. That is why nothing will happen if you eat vitamins. Now you can have over consumption of vitamins that will lead to toxicity, but as such vitamins will not cause any allergic reaction, or it will not cause any immune reactions. And more often than not, vitamins will only function in very, very low concentration. So the daily requirement of vitamins is also very low. You don't need to consume a big quantity of vitamins. You just need to make sure that you are consuming that small quantity every day. And the amount of vitamins that old people need will be the same as young people. It is not that vitamins, I mean minerals alag baat hai. The amount of vitamins that old people need will be the same as the vitamins that younger people need. So generally when you see older people, or let's suppose it is your parents or someone in your family who is getting older, and they start eating vitamins left, right, and center, चने बटानों के ऐसा खाने लगते हैं. So that is a problem that can lead to toxicity. So it is your duty, at least you should make sure that you are informing them to not eat vitamins as such until and unless they are proven to have some sort of deficiency. There's no point in eating vitamins as such, because if you are having a healthy diet, if you are consuming a wholesome diet, let's suppose your in nutrition is well rounded, you are having fruits, vegetables, and all sorts of nutrients, in that scenario you would not need vitamins as such. Okay. Only and until and unless specific conditions where vitamin D maybe you might need, because humans, when they've evolved, they were creatures who used to stay outside for a long period of time. So nowadays vitamin D deficiency is very common, and it can occur even in middle class or upper class people. It is not like if you are having some sort of food deficiency only vitamin D deficiency occurs. Vitamin D deficiency is specifically occurring in patients or in people specifically because they're not going out as much. So vitamin D supplementation ले सकते हैं, that too in a controlled manner. ठीक है, it is better consult a nutritionist or a doctor and then take it. Anyway, now coming to the classification of vitamin D, there are two major categories of vitamins. You have fat soluble vitamins, soluble vitamins, one second, and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins में you will have vitamin A, D, E, and K. Four vitamins are there. Water soluble vitamins are divided into two types. You have non B complex and B complex. Non B complex vitamins will only contain one, that is vitamin C. B complex vitamins will again have two categories. One is hemopoietic, meaning they will take part in the hemopoiesis essentially. What is hemopoiesis? अच्छा, आप लोगों को एनाटॉमी में ब्लड पढ़ा है?
Red blood cells, sir.
एनाटॉमी में ब्लड पढ़ा है बोले तो आरबीसी बोल रहे हैं आप. व्हाट इज हेमोपोइसिस पूछा मैं.
Process making of blood.
Whole of the blood or any specific part of the blood? ठीक है. So hematopoietic, the process of making blood is hemopoiesis. Okay, if you're making specific products like RBCs, erythropoiesis रहता, या WBCs बना रहे तो leukopoiesis रहता, so on and so forth. Hematopoiesis is actually making the whole of the blood. Have a little more confidence when you're answering. Right. Now, hematopoietic vitamins में आता folic acid, which is vitamin B9, and cyanocobalamin. I wasn't able to write the whole thing here. Cyanocobalamin, which is vitamin B12. Now, the other class is energy releasing B complex molecules or energy releasing B complex vitamins. Energy releasing. ठीक है. इसके अंदर आता आपका विटामिन B1, which is thiamine, vitamin B2 riboflavin, vitamin B3 niacin, B6 pyridoxine, B7 biotin, and B5 pantothenic acid. ठीक है. So B1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 7. There is no 4, or at least significant नहीं है 4. ठीक है. Now we'll get into each and every type of these what do you call vitamins. Now most of these vitamins, almost all of these vitamins are not stored in your body. ठीक है, especially water soluble. Fat soluble फिर भी आपके body में somewhat store कर सकते हैं. They are stored in your liver. Fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, K. But water soluble vitamins normally are not stored in your body except for vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 can be stored in your body, except other than vitamin B12, other water soluble vitamins cannot be stored inside your body. Fat soluble vitamins are excreted through urine. Normally both of them are technically excreted through urine. ठीक है. Now, especially with fat soluble vitamins, bile salts and bile acids, bile acids, they and fats, they are essential for absorption of uh, fat soluble vitamins. If you are not eating enough amount of fat in your diet, and if you're not having enough amount of bile acid and bile salts present in your body, vitamin A, D, E, K will not be absorbed into your body. Even if you're eating it, that they will never get absorbed into your intestines and it can cause deficiency. So eating fats are very important. Okay? In a healthy quantity, but you need to have it. Okay? We'll start off with vitamin A. Vitamin A का नाम क्या है? What is the name of vitamin A? Technically, it has 3-4 names. What is the common name that you know?
Sir,
Sir,
anti-gastrophthalmia.
क्या? Your voice chopped off in between, so I wasn't able to hear you clearly.
retinol, sir.
Yeah. This is also called the anti-xerophthalmia vitamin because it is, it is used against xerophthalmia. Anyway, you can name it several ways. Retinol bolte हैं. If it is an alcohol form, it is called retinol. If it is an aldehyde form, it is called retinal. Commonly used term is this, but you can also term as retinal, or you can also term it as retinoic acid. Retinoic acid. Retinoic acid will be in the name when it is in the form of a acid, carboxylic acid के type में है तो then it will be called a retinoic acid. Anyway, coming to retinol, dietary sources of retinol. Can anyone tell me what are the dietary sources of retinol? Only 2 sources. I don't need a lot. 2 sources भी बस है.
Animal source.
No, what in animal source exactly? Animal source is a very broad term.
Kidneys.
Sir,
Okay. Kidney. I'm getting a lot of static from someone's thing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of static from you, Saujanya. Type the answer. What can you tell me about the sources? Now there are animal sources and vegetable sources, both. Kidneys में उतना ज़्यादा नहीं रहता. दूसरा organ पकड़ो.
Liver.
Liver में रहता. Very rich in liver. Eggs, yes. Egg yolk, especially, yes. Milk to a certain degree, yes. So animal sources will include milk, eggs, liver, cheese, yes. Nuts to a certain degree, yes. You also find it in fish liver oils. Very rich in fish liver oils. जो cod liver oil and all मिलता है. Butter में रहता है, yes. You'll find it in cream. They are all good sources. So shark liver oil or cod liver oil are also very good sources of these things of vitamins. Now, if we talk about vegetable sources, we specifically have your carrots. Fruits में थोड़ा specific रहना पड़ता.
Mango.
Yes, mango.
Carrot.
आम का तो सीजन चल रहा है. फुल दबा के विटामिन ए खा रहे बोलो.
हाँ सर.
खाली लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर एक आम के पीछे एक आम. So mango, pumpkins, जो शकर कद्दू बोलते हैं उसको. Pumpkin, अच्छा, have you all ever seen what is Halloween? In America and in some European countries, Halloween is celebrated, and what they do is they make a ghost head kind of thing out of a pumpkin, that yellowish color, big, ऐसा रहता, circular. I'm sure if you see it, you'll understand what is a pumpkin. It'll look something like this. Please forgive me for the horrible diagram, but that is somewhat how a pumpkin looks. Okay, my drawing skills are very limited. So it will be orangish in color, somewhat lightish orange in color. It will have a green colored stalk, and that's a pumpkin that has really good. It will be slightly sweet. So that is a good source of vitamin A. Green leafy vegetables, spinach, amaranth, papaya, all of these are good sources. Carrots are good sources of vitamin A. Now during cooking process, these will not get destroyed, so you don't have to worry about it. Coming to daily requirements of vitamin A, it depends on the age of the person. So age and the condition of the person. For example, in infants, the requirement is about 1500 international units per day. So the measuring unit is international unit. Okay, IU बोलते हैं उसको, per day. Children will need somewhere in between 2 to 3000 IU per day. Adults need about 5000 IU per day. Pregnant women and pregnant and lactating women, they need somewhere around, this is the symbol for female. Okay, pregnant and lactating women will need somewhere in between 6 to 8000 per day, international unit per day. So that is the daily requirement of vitamin A. Now coming to what happens, what are the functions of vitamin A? First of all, growth, very important for growth, for metabolism, essentially protein synthesis. It plays a role in metabolism of DNA. It is required for normal reproductive processes. Let me put it this way: if a person has vitamin A deficiency, they might have miscarriages, they might face miscarriage. Okay, so vitamin A is very important in reproduction. It has certain anti-cancer activity as well. Acts as a natural antioxidant. Carotenoids, they act as natural antioxidants and they can help in anti-cancer activity. It is necessary for maintaining normal skin, a normal epithelium of the skin. For skin health, it is very important. Now, if there is a patient who has deficiency of vitamin A, deficiency of vitamin A, इनके अंदर एक specific condition होता, actually two specific conditions will happen. One is called nyctalopia or night blindness. Ever heard of night blindness?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
As the name suggests, the person will become blind, or at least they will not be able to see properly when light is diminished. In dim light, their visual acuity will be diminished. They'll not be able to see clearly when the light is very dim. Now normally what happens is, in you and I, let us suppose, who has people who have healthy eye and who have healthy amounts of vitamin A, their eye will adapt. Okay, let us suppose you move from a room which is lit very well and you go into a room which is completely dark. It'll take a few seconds, but your eye will immediately adapt. Okay, and you will be somewhat able to understand what objects are present, where you are able to move around, so on and so forth. Okay, as long as a little bit of light is coming out from anywhere, you will be able to understand. Thoda diffuse bhi ho raha to light chal jata. But people who have nyctalopia, they will not be able to see this. Okay, these patients cannot read, they cannot drive a car under poor light altogether. Okay, the dark adaptation time is increased. It will take longer for their eyes to adapt to the darkness. And second condition is xerophthalmia. Xerophthalmia is a condition in which the patient's conjunctiva, so I hope you know what is the conjunctiva. आप लोगों को eye पढ़ा है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you know what is the conjunctiva. Conjunctivitis के बारे में पढ़ाए होंगे ना? eye का पढ़ाए थे जब? Okay, conjunctiva. Let me know what is the conjunctiva tomorrow. Okay, if anyone can tell me what the conjunctiva is, what its function is. So conjunctiva becomes very dry, it will become wrinkled and it will become very thick. Okay, that patient will have dryness which will spread to the cornea as well. Sometimes the conjunctiva will become glassy and the luster is gone essentially because of keratinization. Infection might occur in that area because of so xerophthalmia. Later on, infection might occur which might lead to conjunctivitis in that patient. So both of these will occur in patients who have vitamin A deficiency. Also, their skin and mucous membrane will have a lot of damage. ठीक है, follicular hyperkeratosis होता है उन लोगों को. That patient skin will become very rough. ठीक है, and there will be a few spots where damage is occurring in the skin. So those are all problems that will occur in vitamin A deficiency. Now generally the deficiency itself will occur because of a few reasons. It can be decreased intake, you're not simply taking enough amount of vitamin A, or there is obstructive jaundice. So obstructive jaundice में होता क्या है, आप लोगों को लिवर पड़ा है? अच्छा, let me put it this way. Have you ever heard about the common hepatic duct? Common hepatic duct. Common hepatic duct is the duct that will carry bile and pancreatic juices into your duodenum and into your small intestine. Why is this important? For now, just remember that common hepatic duct जो है is a duct that is opening from your liver, and there is another duct that attaches to it from your this thing. आपके pancreas से एक और duct आता है which will carry pancreatic fluid along with it, and here what happens is pancreatic juice and bile, both of them will mix together. Let us suppose this is pancreatic juice, amylase and all of those enzymes, and this is bile. Now, in obstructive jaundice, what happens is there is an obstruction to the common hepatic artery, or there is a common hepatic duct, or there is an obstruction in the bile canaliculi. As a result, what happens is bile is not able to come out into your intestine. There is an obstruction in the flow of bile. Now, why is that significant? Initially, I told you before starting this, vitamin A, D, E, K, which are fat soluble vitamins, rely on bile acids and bile salts. Those bile acids and bile salts are present in this bile. Without bile, you will not be able to absorb vitamin A. So even if you are consuming normal amount of vitamin A, if bile is not present in the condition that the patient has obstructive jaundice, bile is not coming into your duodenum, and without the presence of bile acids and bile salts, vitamin A will never be able to get absorbed into your intestines. As a result, it will cause deficiency. So obstructive jaundice is another cause of the patient having vitamin A deficiency. It can occur in cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is irreversible damage to your liver. Generally, cirrhosis occurs in patients who have alcoholism. Severe alcoholism की वजह से cirrhosis होता, wherein your liver is getting damaged beyond the point where it can recover. ठीक है? Next year you'll learn about cirrhosis even more, but for now just know that cirrhosis is a condition in which irreversible liver damage has occurred, and as a result, all the functions of your liver are getting hampered. One important function of liver is secreting bile, so that gets hampered as well, and because of which retinol or vitamin A will never get absorbed properly. Especially what happens is there is a protein called retinol binding protein. That protein is produced by your liver. In case of cirrhosis, RBP or retinol binding protein will not be synthesized properly. That is why absorption of vitamin A gets affected, hence leading to deficiency. It can occur in malnutrition. It can also occur in nephrosis. ठीक है? Nephrosis कब होता है? Chronic nephrosis is a condition in which retinol binding protein is getting excreted through your urine in an excessive quantity. So there is not enough amount of retinol binding protein present in your body to throw that retinol into your body or into your intestines. That can be a problem. So all of those are reasons why deficiency will occur. Now, how do you assess a patient who has deficiency? कैसा पता चलता deficiency है नहीं है? One of the most common tests that you can do is dark adaptation test. ठीक है? It'll take some time, but essentially what you do is you take the patient into a dark room and you observe the patient for the time it takes for them to adapt to that darkness. If it takes very long, it means that they have nyctalopia or they have night blindness. Generally indicates vitamin A deficiency. You can check the serum of that patient as well. Normal blood levels of vitamin A should be somewhere in between 25 to 50 milligrams per deciliter. 25 to 50 mg per dl should be the normal level in the blood of a patient. ठीक है? Serum levels. इससे कम है बोले तो there is a problem. Less than 25. Sometimes there can be toxicity of vitamin A as well. Hypervitaminosis भी बोलते हैं उसको. Hypervitaminosis A or toxicity of vitamin A occurs when you have excessive consumption of vitamin A. Generally occurs in children. Okay, when sometimes what happens is parents will become overzealous, they'll become over enthusiastic, and they'll feed their children excessive amount of vitamins. That is a problem because your body cannot handle, especially a infant's body is not able to handle that much amount of vitamins, and as a result what will happen is those people will have a lot of problems. For example, headache, irritability, skin will start peeling off, vomiting, all of that will occur in vitamin A toxicity. Okay. Now coming to the next vitamin, we have vitamin D. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? What is vitamin D called, or what are the two forms of vitamin D? Let me put it that way. We already discussed about vitamin D when we were discussing about, I think, carbohydrates or lipid metabolism. I don't remember. Lipid metabolism में था, right? It is synthesized by cholesterol, right? So what do you call vitamin D? What is the common name of vitamin D?
Calciferol.
Specifically, cholecalciferol. This is vitamin D3. Okay, the common form of, or naturally occurring form of vitamin D3. Now this is formed when UV light hits your cholesterol, and dehydrocholesterol gets converted into cholecalciferol inside your body. Okay, so it is very important that people go out in the sun, and they spend enough amount of time every day outside in the sun, so that they are able to get enough amount of vitamin D inside their body. Anyway, if we talk about the dietary sources of vitamin D, can you name any common dietary sources other than sunlight?
Salmon.
Excuse me.
Liver oil.
Mhm. Someone was telling.
Egg,
Okay, eggs.
Butter.
butter,
Milk.
Okay, yeah, butter, ghee as well to a certain degree.
Egg yolk.
हाँ, eggs में ही आ जाता वो.
Sir, milk powder.
Okay, milk and its products, milk powder, milk. All right. So generally, full fat milk में ज़्यादा रहता vitamin D compared to the skimmed milk. All right. You'll also find it in chicken to a certain degree as well. Anyway, now one of the best sources is obviously going out in the sun, but if you're not able to obtain it that way, you can substitute it this way, or you can use a tablet, whatever it is. Now, it is certain that babies and growing children require more vitamin D than adults. Because of their rapid growth and rapid bone development, their requirement for vitamin D is quite high when compared to adults. So for example, in infants and children, the requirement for vitamin D is about 600 IU per day. Whereas in adults, men and women, plus pregnant women, pregnant or lactating women, this is about 400 IU per day. So as you can see, children require quite a lot. Okay. Now coming to the functions of vitamin D, first, one of the most important functions is intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphates. Vitamin D plays a very important role in increasing the rate of absorption and increasing the amount of calcium and phosphorus that is reabsorbed back into your body from your intestines. It will stimulate the synthesis of specific calcium and specific calcium binding proteins, okay, in your intestinal epithelium, through which calcium is able to come inside. And second important function is mineralization of bone. It will make sure that the calcium and phosphorus which is being absorbed into your body, that is being thrown into the bone, so that the bone will become stronger. It will essentially increase calcium and phosphate ions inside your bone, making your bones stronger. Okay. To a certain degree, it will also have an effect in lowering the pH of your urine. Okay. Urinary pH को कम करने में काम करता है ये. Anyway, that is secondary function. Primary functions will be mineralization of bone, and the function wherein it is helping in intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphate. Now coming to the deficiency of vitamin D, vitamin D deficiency presents as rickets, especially in children. It can also cause osteomalacia. Osteomalacia generally occurs in adults. Rickets occurs in children. Now, the normal concentration of vitamin D, optimal concentration of vitamin D is somewhere more than 30 nanograms per ml, Ng per ml. Okay. If it is going below 30 grams, it might be considered insufficient, and if it is going below 20 grams, the patient is properly deficient. Okay. So less than 20, or rather than less than 20, I would say, in between 20 to 30, insufficient. The patient needs some supplementation, or they need to take care of their body. If it is going below 20, those patients are deficient, proper deficient. ठीक है, उनके अंदर ऑस्टियोमलेशियन रिकेट्स का रिस्क बहुत बढ़ जाता. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, विटामिन डी डेफिशिएंसी कैन अकर in anyone. It is not necessary that some people who are eating healthy, or people who are how should I put it, from richer backgrounds or from upper middle class or middle class families, उन लोगों के अंदर नहीं होता, बल्कि नहीं है. It is not exactly related to your diet per se. To a certain degree it is, but it can occur. Vitamin D deficiency can occur even in affluent societies, even amongst developed countries में भी हो सकता है. It's not necessary that it is only occurring in countries which have malabsorption and things like that, countries who have deficient food supply and all. Anyway, because of vitamin D deficiency, bone health will take a big hit. Your bones will become very weak, and especially what will happen is blood pressure will increase. Higher systolic blood pressure might occur in patients who have vitamin D deficiency. Higher systolic blood pressure किसको बोलते हैं? What is systolic
नॉर्मल
blood
प्रेशर से ज्यादा हो तो
What
सिस्टोलिक.
is systolic blood pressure? अच्छा, 120 by 80 mmHg में, one second, 80 mmHg में, what is systolic and what is diastolic?
सर 120 सिस्टोलिक 80 डायस्टोलिक.
Wait. Can you tell me the difference? What is a systole and what is diastole?
Systole means relaxation of heart muscles.
Diastole?
Contraction of heart muscles.
उसको थोड़ा उल्टा कर दो कॉन्सेप्ट को. आप जो बोले उसको उल्टा करके करो, करेक्ट रहता जब. ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
Systole is the contraction, diastole is the relaxation. So whenever your atria contract and your ventricles are relaxing, this 120 by 80 is taken for ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So whenever your ventricles will contract with complete force, that will create a certain amount of force, that is the pressure through which your blood is moving forward, that is 120 mmHg. And when they relax and when they are filling up with blood, that is the pressure, that is essentially a vacuum like pressure that is created, so that blood can flow from your atria into your ventricles. That will be the diastolic pressure, which is 80 mmHg. In vitamin D deficiency, patients will have a higher systolic blood pressure. Okay, and commonly seen. Also, they have low amounts of HDL, which is bad. What is HDL? अपन लिपिड्स में पढ़े थे ये. HDL, LDL, triglycerides.
कोलेस्ट्रॉल वैल्यू.
What is HDL? It is a type of cholesterol, yes. What is HDL?
हायर सिस्टोलिक.
High density
systolic.
lipoprotein. क्या करता? अच्छा, उसका फुल फॉर्म ही बोलने था, हिल गए बोला था. अच्छा, हाई डेंसिटी लिपोप्रोटीन इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कैरिंग कोलेस्ट्रॉल from your body to your liver, so that it can get processed and it can get broken down. LDL will do the opposite. Normally or ideally you would want high amounts of HDL and low amounts of LDL. अगर HDL level कम रहा patient के अंदर and LDL level ज़्यादा रहा patient के body के अंदर, it will mean that more and more cholesterol will be present in their circulation. If more cholesterol is present in their circulation, there is a higher chance that clot formation can occur, atherosclerosis का chance बढ़ जाता, and generally it will cause, there is a higher chance for coronary artery disease to occur. Okay. As such, vitamin D deficiency itself will put the patient at a higher risk for heart disease, because it is decreasing, it is causing decrease in HDL levels, and it is increasing systolic blood pressure. Both of these are contributory factors to heart disease. Okay, so make sure that your vitamin D levels are normal. Other than that, now coming to causes of vitamin D deficiency, obviously people who are not getting exposed to sunlight properly, either people who are living in northern latitudes or in winter months, or people who are bedridden, okay, or they are covering their body at all times and they are not getting exposed to light altogether, unke andar hota vitamin D deficiency. It can be a nutritional deficiency of calcium, where you are not simply eating enough amount of calcium and phosphate. Malabsorption of vitamin D might occur. Malabsorption of vitamin D also occurs in obstructive jaundice and steatorrhea. Okay, the same problem that occurred in vitamin A, all फैट सॉल्युबल विटामिन्स में प्रॉब्लम हो रहता है ये, अगर आपके बाइल एसिड्स एंड बाइल सॉल्ट्स प्रेजेंट नहीं है तो उनका अब्जॉर्प्शन होता नहीं है. So malabsorption of vitamin D occurs. Even if you're eating normal amount, it will never get absorbed properly into your body, and that will be a problem. Okay. uh, Rickets will essentially be seen as bones becoming very soft. If the same thing occurs in adults, it'll be called osteomalacia. Now in children specifically, you will see a lot of signs actually. One second, I'll show you an image. I think I have an image. Hmm. Yeah, देखो, the children who have rickets, generally they have all of these problems. They will have knock knees, they have bow legs, ठीक है, bow जैसा रहते हैं उनके legs, wider bones, wide ankles, odd shaped legs. Their knees will be knock knees. They will have their frontal bones will protrude out. They will have a very weird kind of chest, ठीक है, the sternum bone will be weird, pigeon chest बोलते हैं उसको, ठीक है, odd shaped ribs and breastbone. uh, they'll have very wide joints at the elbow and wrist. So you will see a very peculiar signs, okay? The curve of their spine will be odd, their abdomen will be very large, and their growth will be stunted. All of these are signs that the infant is having rickets, and they immediately need vitamin D therapy, okay? Now coming to the next type of vitamin, we have vitamin E. So what is vitamin E called? इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Any guesses?
Tocopherols.
Correct. Correct. So this is called tocopherol. Good. Now dietary sources of vitamin E.
Sir?
Dietary sources of vitamin E.
Oil.
What oil?
Sunflower oil.
sunflower oil.
Okay. अच्छा oil बोले तो मैं समझा कौन सा, तभी तेल लेके पी लेना. Okay. Oils. So specifically, wheat germ oil is a good source. Cereal oils are good source. Vegetable oils are good source. Sunflower oil is a decent source. It is not exactly very good, but vegetable oils will be very good.
Fruit.
Vegetable oils, vegetable fats, cereals, animal foods are fair sources. Vegetables as such are not a good source. Vegetables and fruits will not have good amounts of vitamins, but cereals and the oils present inside cereal will be a good source of vitamin E. Nuts to a certain degree as well. Okay. जो मूंगफली रहती है and other nuts which are present, those are also fairly decent sources of vitamin E. Now this vitamin E is also called anti-sterility factor.
Yes, sir.
Sterility factor.
Anti-sterility.
It is very important for the reproductive health. Okay. Now coming to the dietary reference or the daily dietary intake that people need, it is quite varied. Depending on age, the requirement will change quite a lot. So for example, if we take an infant, let's suppose birth to 1 year of age, the requirement will be about, this is in milligrams per day, okay? The requirement is about 5 milligrams per day. If it is a child 1 to 6 years of age, somewhere in between about 10 milligrams per day. अगर 7 to 9 देखें आप तो 15 रहता हूँ, 10 to 12 देखें तो आप 20 रहता, ठीक है, 20. So according to age this will change. And if you see adolescent, that is teenagers. If it is a boy, 13 to 18 years of age, the requirement will be about 25. Actually, girls will also have a similar requirement. Same, 25. Men and women may change hota thoda. Men that is more than 18 years of age, it will be around 30 milligrams per day. All of these values are milligrams per day. Okay. In women, it will be 25. It will remain the same here and here. Pregnancy and lactation will need more. Okay. So P and L may pregnancy and lactation may requirement will become 30. So this is the difference. Okay. Normal women will need about 25 milligrams of vitamin E per day. Pregnant and lactating women will need about 30 milligrams per day. Now, if we talk about the functions of vitamin E, it has multiple functions. It will act as an antioxidant agent. It will remove free radicals from your body. It has a very important role in reproduction. Essentially, deficiency of vitamin E will lead to irreversible degeneration of, irreversible irreversible degenerative changes occurring in the patient's reproductive organs. As a result, what will happen is it can lead to permanent sterility, especially in men. So it is very important that vitamin E levels should be normal in a patient. Okay, आप healthy amount of vitamin E लेना चाहिए. And they also, vitamin E also has a certain role in nucleic acid synthesis. So it plays a role in protein synthesis and nucleic acid synthesis as well. Okay, for the maintenance of your DNA specifically. And as such, it's a very powerful natural antioxidant agent. So it will combat aging, it will combat cancer to a certain extent. Very helpful. In case of deficiency of vitamin E, see, deficiency of vitamin E generally does not occur because there are so many ways that you can get vitamin E. It is almost impossible for you to actually get deficiency of vitamin E. It will only occur when a patient is having, things like obstructive jaundice or area when they have conditions where vitamin E is not being absorbed properly. And in that condition, when vitamin E is not being absorbed properly, that is when problems will occur, especially neurological problems. Normally, vitamin E deficiency does not occur because in your day-to-day life, especially in the Indian diet, you will have more than enough amount of vitamin E. But let us suppose a patient is not having enough amount of dietary fat and not enough amount of vitamin E in their diet, then they will have neurological problems because of poor nerve conduction. And these neurological problems will present as ataxia. The patient will have retinopathy. The patient will have peripheral neuropathy. I'll explain in a bit what these terms are. Neuropathy. To a certain extent, they will also have myopathies. Okay. Mainly ataxia. So, ever heard of the term ataxia? कभी सुना है ataxia के बारे में?
No, sir.
No. Okay. अच्छा. When did you all learn to walk on an average? You must have seen someone learn to walk as well, right? Your younger siblings or someone in your family who was young, you must have seen them walk, well, like from the point when they were born and when they are walking. What do you think the average age is when a child starts to walk or an infant starts to walk?
1 year.
Okay. 1. Any more? 1 to 2? It would be a safe guess, right? 1 to 2 के बीच में तो चलना start कर देते. To a certain extent, they might not run as such, but some people will actually run. Some infants will run, but that is a very dangerous age. They will run every which way. But 1 to 2, they generally learn to walk and they will generally start running around and all. So if you look at the process of walking, initially, imagine when you are a 1-year-old kid, walking is a process that is it is very conscious in the sense that you have to put your complete effort in walking. You have to make sure that you are putting one step in front of each other. You have to balance properly. You have to make sure that your upper body is not dangling. If you see a 1-year-old kid, you'll be clearly able to see how they are walking. Their upper body will be dangling, their lower body will be dangling, but still they'll be walking some way or the other, right? Especially like 10-month-old or 10-month-old to 1.5-year-old, they'll be dangling, but they keep walking to some extent or the other. Now fast forward that person about 10 years in the future. Okay, their age is about 10 or 11. Do you have to put conscious effort while walking? When you are 10 or 11 years of age, do you have to put conscious effort in walking? Meaning, do you have to think about walking? अच्छा, एक पैर एक के आगे एक लगाना पड़ता, ऐसा चलना पड़ता, बल्कि सोचना पड़ता, or do you just get up and walk?
No, sir, we don't have to think.
Get up and walk.
You don't have to think. Okay, it becomes a reflexive process. Ataxia is a condition in which your neuronal systems are not able to, or your neurons are not able to fire properly, and your neurons are specifically not able to communicate properly with your muscle. Now, walking is a very complex process in the sense that your brain is giving a signal to your spinal cord. From your spinal cord, peripheral nerves are coming out, and those peripheral nerves are going to your limbs. Your upper body is balancing, your lower body, while balancing, you are switching your balance in between your right leg and left leg, and you're moving your hips in such a way that you move forward. So it's a very complex process if you look at it. Okay, over time what happens is your body starts making more and more neurological connections, and it will become a reflex, wherein walking and running will become a very reflexive process. You don't need to consciously think about it. When you want to run, you can run, and when you want to walk, you can walk without putting a lot of effort or without putting any conscious effort. In ataxia, those those neurons essentially will not be able to communicate properly with your muscular system. Now if you want to walk, what is happening, अब आपके spinal cord में से जो neurons निकल रहे, they are giving stimulus to the muscles around your legs and the muscles of your upper body, so that one part is balancing, the other part is moving your bones. ठीक है, your bones will not move as such, your muscles will cause your bones to move. Because of the contraction and relaxation of your muscles, your bones will move. In ataxia, that communication between the neuron and muscle is lost, or it is diminished, significantly diminished. As a result, the patient will not be able to balance properly, and they will fall down a lot. They are not able to coordinate their muscular movements. For example, let me put it this way. Have you ever seen some patients who will not be able to use, especially old people? By old, I mean like 80, 90-year-old. They will not be able to hold a spoon properly. Okay? Even if they are holding a spoon, it will vibrate quite a lot. Okay? Stable तरीके से they will not be able to hold a spoon. If you know, कभी देखे? Like really old people. देखे ना? They will not be able to do finer things. They will lose their fine motor control, and their muscle, even if they want to do a function, let us suppose they are a tailor. Imagine they would have been a tailor in their life, and later down the line you ask them to sew something. They might not be able to do it because they will not be able to control their muscles properly in that way. So finer motor control chale aata. Ataxia is something similar. In this scenario, your neuronal systems are not able to communicate with your muscles properly, and as a result, balance is lost, coordination is lost, and a lot of problems will occur. That is ataxia. That will occur in vitamin E deficiency. Retinopathy is damage to your retina, and as a result, damage to your retinal retinal neuron as well, and retinal nerve altogether, and damage to your vision altogether. Peripheral neuropathy means the peripheral neurons which are present in your fingers, in your toes, all the peripheral location. Central location मतलब आपका brain and spinal cord. Periphery will be everything other than brain and spinal cord. So जो भी spinal cord के बाहर निकल रहे हैं, दूर जा रहे हैं, those are peripheral neurons. Anything that is damaging your peripheral neurons will cause peripheral neuropathy. ठीक है? Those neurons will get damaged. Let me give you an example. Imagine in your life, let's suppose you come across someone, or you will also have such a experience. Sometimes you let's suppose hold something very hot, example, or you cause some severe damage to your fingers or severe damage to a part of your hand, and what happens is that part of your hand or that part of your finger will lose sensation. Okay? You will recover, the skin will come back, everything will be normal, but you will lose sensation in that area. That happens because of peripheral neuropathy. the neurons which are present in those locations have been damaged to such an extent that the receptors which were present there, the tactile receptors which were present there, they were damaged, and you cannot get those neurons back. Okay? Generally it will take a very long time, or sometimes they will not come back altogether. Peripheral neurons को फिर भी आप recover कर सकते हैं, central neurons को recover नहीं कर सकते. Now, peripheral neuropathy is a condition in which those peripheral neurons are getting damaged. Myopathies are problems of your muscles. Okay? There will be a lot of problems, degenerative problems of your muscles. Okay? So those are all problems that will occur with vitamin E. I will continue with vitamins and minerals in the next class. Okay? Our time is up.
Okay, sir.